The first shipment of Syrian chemical weapons has left the country under the UN-backed deal to destroy them. Syria had missed the December 31st deadline to have them ready for transport and destruction. Scandinavian naval vessels had been deployed to escort the cargo ships carrying the chemicals for destruction off Italy. Let's get more from Rula Amin, who's live for us in Beirut in neighbouring Lebanon. Rula, this has clearly been a slower process than initially anticipated. What have been the main hurdles?
Yes, well, we have to remember this is a mission to disarm Syria of its chemical weapons amid a very severe civil war. So it's a very tricky, challenging task. And still, the deadline was missed by only about a week, 10 days. By June, all these chemical weapons should have been either destroyed or removed out of Syria. Now, the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons says they are still on track, they are optimistic, and today's confirmation that the first batch of these very dangerous toxic chemicals have been removed from Syria, put on these vessels, is a good sign, despite all of the fighting that's taking place between the government forces and the rebels, and between the rebels themselves. These weapons or these chemicals were removed from two different sites and were loaded onto trucks, and then they were transported to the Latakia port onto these vessels. Now, on these vessels, there's going to be still a process of verification. They want to make sure these are exactly the chemical weapons that were supposed to be loaded, and then these ships are going to stay in international waters until more toxic chemicals are transported and then loaded again on these vessels to be taken to Italy.
And do we know how long the entire process is going to take and when they'll be able to say, yes, we have removed all chemical weapons from Syria?
Well, we're not sure, but we know there's a deadline in June that the whole process should end by June. What we also know is that the UN officials are saying that as for now, Syria's capacity and capabilities to produce or to use chemical weapons have been reduced to zero. Most of these chemical toxics are either under UN control or have been destroyed, and the facilities and the plants that were used to produce them have been declared unoperational. And for the UN officials, this is a major achievement.
Rula, thanks very much indeed for that. Rula Amin in Beirut there.